All right, so it is time to rank some things, okay? Ranking my eyeshadow palettes that I have tried this year. It is June, the year is flying by, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So let's just do a mid-year check-in of the palettes that I have. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So as you heard, we are doing a palette ranking of all the palettes that I have tried this year. So I have some really good palettes. It's not too many, so you won't get a snack though, but it's not too many because you know I've been kind of keeping my collection a little tighter in the past few years because as you know, we have tons and tons of eyeshadow. So I really look for things that really speak to me and brands that I really love and color stories that I really love. So yeah, the collection's been a little tighter, but you already know, like Q4, that fall, winter, that you know, that's when the palettes really start rolling in. So it's like, okay, we're doing good right now, but you already know how that September, that October, that November, you already know, like the palettes just start falling in. So I am so off track. I have not introduced myself. If you are new to this channel, welcome. If you're older but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. So welcome onto my channel. Just please call me Ash or Ashley. And eyeshadow is my jam. It is one of my most favorite things to talk about here on my channel. So I only have 16 palettes. So like I said, tighter collection, and quite a few things were gifted to me in PR, which I'm very thankful for, but all thoughts will be my own, and these are true rankings. And the things that have been gifted to me in PR, I will let you know when I'm presenting the ranking. And a lot of these brands, like I have cultivated relationships with. There's only one brand that I was not using prior to receiving PR, which is DD Signature. They reached out to me, and then, but Adept and Inslee Rain, that relationship has come about organically. You know, been using their products for years, been buying. Well, Inslee is new, but I've been loving all their products, and thank God they took notice, and they have sent me a little package of some things. And then Adept, you know, I've been buying several of the palettes, been using them for years, and Sandra has been nice and sent me some things along the way. So I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into this ranking. So nothing really in here is bad. I don't hate anything. I don't truly dislike anything. And some things could probably fall a little bit different depending on when you ask me. But we're going to go ahead and jump in. And you know how rankings are. It's just like you feel it. Sometimes you don't. But we're going to go ahead and get started with number 16. So number 16 is the first palette I actually tried by DD Signature, which is the Blooming Basket. This came out with the Sister to Sister collection. It came out with a different quad that I will show later. So this is coming in at number 16. And I feel like this is a very beautiful palette. Now it's very springy and punchy and colorful. Although I do like colorful makeup, I don't feel like tropical colors are necessarily my thing, you know, but I like color in general. So, but I felt like the shades in here were really pretty. I felt like the mattes are in here were really pretty. They had good pigmentation. And what made it like a standout for me was definitely the shimmer formula. The shimmer formula by DD Signature is like A1. You know, some of the mattes sometimes can be a little hit or miss, but I felt like this was a good mustardy shade that kind of showed up well on my collection, on my complexion. And overall, I do like the general aesthetic of the palette, and it does have good performance, but lined up against some of the other color stories in my collection, it does unfortunately come in at number 16. Coming in at number 15 is the Fancy Face times Odin's Eye. This is her second collab, her second go round with Odin's Eye, and I feel like this palette is really beautiful, but it is slightly tropical, but it's called the Earthwood palette. It's slightly tropical, but not tropical at the same time, and can be quite neutral. So there are really pretty shades in here. The only thing is sometimes the shimmer formulation by Odin's Eye, it can be like very hit or miss. It has a beautiful multi-chrome in here that is like, it changes the game. Are we swatching to swatch or not to swatch? swatch. Oh, my finger's in there. Okay, so we have this shade called Beauty, which really sets the tone of the palette, which, oh, right there. I really forgot how beautiful Beauty is. So that does really just like amp the palette up, because it's like, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Like, oh, she did her thing with this shade. And I do like that you can get some neutrals. You can get some fun pops of colors. The matte choices are really pretty, but I would say that Healed, like the little mint green, is just okay. And the lavender shade is just all right. But I do really like this kind of blurpley color and the teal and that brown and this brown up here. So overall, I really do like the aesthetic of this palette. And like we said, the Beauty. But you know, I'm always here for a good multi-chrome situation. Okay, so that was 15. So now we're going to go in with 14. This is the other palette that came out with the Disney Signature collection with the Sister and Sister collection. And this is the Taste of Guava. This little thing was so cute and punchy and had all the pigment. And it's like tropical. I'm not, like I said, such a pink and green person combined. But the shadows in here were undeniably good. And I felt like this quad was just executed really, really well. The shades were just like really different. Like this blue shade here, really pretty, like what, giving blurple vibes. Like, didn't really quite expect that out of it. That's why I'm just like, sometimes I have such beautiful eyeshadow shades. Like, I really love my collection. This is just like a pause, like a reflection. I really love the eyeshadows that I have in my collection, and I really have been trying to focus and touch all of them this year, because I have so many pretty ones, and I was like, I need to wear them. And I feel like my collection is complete, but I also feel like it's not complete. And the thing that will really just put the cherry on top, the icing on the cake for me, is if we can get a blue-green mothership or some type of ocean vibe somewhere grungy other than the Mothership 3. But if we could just get away from these pinks, because you already know how I feel. I'm like, mama, you really have a choke. I don't know who has taken you captive, but I just want to free you and let your creative juices go so you can really just deliver on them. Like, if I had that, oh my gosh, I'm not saying I would stop buying eyeshadow, but I would be so satisfied. And that's why I do like the mattes that are in that Mothership Celestial Mega. And I know that like that palette was very missed for a lot of people, but you give a lot of options and you're able to pair them with the other Motherships. But that's what I'm just saying. Like these two swatches already, I'm just like, so many beautiful shadows in my collection. And that's why I don't mind mixing and matching palettes also, because oh my gosh, like look at this shade, you know, giving watermelon vibes, or you know, guava vibes, really. That's what it's called. But look how pretty just these three shades are. Just absolutely stunning. All right, coming in at number 13 is a pastel palette. And pastels with me are like, but this is a really good pastel palette. This palette was actually given to me in PR as well with Glaminatrix. I have fostered a relationship with them as well. They're out of Australia. But this is like pastels done right, because first of all, do you see this deep row? First of all, people are like, why is it so deep? Yeah, because women of color, we need it, all right? We cannot pull off a pastel look without some deepening shades. It's just going to be a hot, ashy mess, okay? It's just I don't chalky. It's not going to look right, okay? So the only row that I don't really fool with too much in this palette would be this one, but it does work. Really like this row. Oh my gosh, The looks that you can get by combining these deeper shades with the two lighter shades are wonderful. Then you have beautiful shimmer options that gives you a lot of versatility with the palette. Because for me, when I go ahead and do pastels, for the most part, it's not usually going to be with the mattes. It's going to be with more shimmers and contrasting mattes. And then usually if I do a lighter shade, sometimes I will use this as a lit shade because that pops better on my skin complexion. But my goodness, this is just so pretty, and it's just executed really well. The matte formula is really nice. It's not chalky, it's not patchy looking or anything like that. So really do like this. All right, coming in at number 12 is the other part of the collab with Odin's Eye. This is the Annette's palette, Annette Makeup's Corner, and this is the Mighty Monster palette. And so I felt like the mattes and the shimmers were a little bit more cohesive and performed a little bit better in this particular palette. And so here we go. It's a really beautiful color story. So it's like giving color, but it's not too tropical, but it's just like tropical enough. And let's see, we have a beautiful multi-chrome in this one as well, which is called Glow Vortex. Look at that. Oh man. Did we think we were going to get that out of that? You know what I mean? So like literally, this is the shade right here. It's gorgeous. It's such a pretty palette. The lilacs, the purples, the blues. It's just put together really well. And you can kind of get a lot of different color stories. You can kind of just go in the line. So I felt like this palette was just executed so well. Coming in at number 11 is a brand that has just like come in, stolen the show, knocked my socks off, especially when they do the palettes in this particular format that I'm about to show. This palette was actually sent to me in PR after they noticed some of my videos, but the other ones I have purchased with my own money. And this is the Inslee Rain Cosmetics Flower Moon palette. I really love this. It's coming in a little bit lower than the other ones. Well, I guess I don't want to spill the beans, but whatever. But like I've had the least amount of time to play with this one, but let me tell you, gorgeous. I don't know how they do it. Their shimmers are just so good. But I would say one downside for me in this particular palette is that there is a lot of green. There are a lot of shades that kind of look alike. That is one thing you definitely have to be careful about when you're putting multi-chromes together, because the multi-chromes, because they have so many different shifts, they can just kind of look like the same thing going on. You know what I mean? And I've just been loving this brand so much. Like a lot of times when I reach to do eyeshadows, I feel like it's very Inslee heavy and it's very Adept heavy. And I'm like, I have other brands in my collection I need to reach, but I've just had so much fun playing with these shadows. Like really standout shade to me would be April Showers. Another standout shade to me is definitely Flower Moon. This beautiful purple shade right here, honey. Like. Do you see? Do you see? Can you feel? Like, I don't know why I busted out with that, but can you feel it? Can you feel it? Okay, because I definitely went from the Lion King to like the Jackson 5. But just such gorgeous formula, silky smooth, multi-textures in here. And even the shades that are a little bit more textured do lie on the lids very well and don't appear to be too chunky. Really solid palette. I don't know what's been going on with me lately. I've not been feeling this like this orange shade from back from the you know, the 2016 era with the makeup, with everything was like so warm tone, but I'm really digging this. Really beautiful. Now a couple of these shades, like this shade and this shade, they are pretty much deep, but they do not layer on top of each other. Okay, these two pretty much layer on top of each other, but this one's a lot deeper than expected. So you have a lot of great options in here. So these two mattes, I'm like, you take it or leave it, but the rest of it, I'm like, okay, yes, really love it here. All right, coming in at number 10, and this palette is the Cyborg palette. Okay, Cyborg Choir palette by Adept Cosmetics. I just got this recently within the last month, few weeks, and it is a really gorgeous palette. Now, this palette kind of gave me FOMO because when it came out, I was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not getting it, da, 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 da. And then it restocked, and I saw the swatches, and I took a little second look, and I was like, Okay, I'm sold. I want this. So many pretty multi-chromes and a lot of actually holochromes in this particular palette. So usually Adept, when they do holochromes, they're usually a little bit more finely milled. But these have like the finely milled holochromes and some of the ones that are a little bit chunkier. Well, not so much chunkier, but bigger flecks of the holo. So like Android Aurora, really pretty. A lot of pinks, a lot of purple shifts to it. Really just gorgeous shades and silky smooth. Like, do you see that with that blue? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, baby, I got shadows, okay? I got shadows. And even though these are new, I'm like, oh my gosh, this shade Digital Harmony, baby, just roll me up. I'm done. Like, love it. Like, ooh-wee. Digital Harmony, honey, not coming to play. I could put a little Digital Harmony on my eyes right now, but I'm not. But so many gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I really like the matte selections. The yellow for me was like, it just didn't really translate that well on the skin. But other than that, the palette is just simply gorgeous. I'm really glad that I decided to purchase it because, like I said, I was like, I'm good. I don't need it in my collection. All right, let me grab the next step, and since we're swatching, let me just clean my hand off. All right, next step up, we are coming in at number 9 with this beautiful little palette right here. This is the Shall We Mist Witch palette. Now, I purchased this last year, but it did not arrive until this year, and so it is a palette that I tried out this year. And look at this gorgeous, grungy, colorful story. You know, I love things like this. Right up my alley. And the shadows perform so nicely. Now you're thinking like these are tiny little shadows. So this is actually the mini version of this palette. This brand aesthetic does give me a lot of Tammy Tenuka vibes. I'm still very salty about Tammy Tenuka, okay? And from my understanding, she does not support the war in Russia, okay? You know, they're not allowed to speak out. They're not allowed to have a voice because I know some people have come for some of my friends on the internet and be like, well, why are you talking about that brand? And it's like, well, we just received the things and then the war broke out in Russia. But like from my understanding is that she does not support the war, but she has, you know, so we can't purchase it. But this brand does really like vibe, the aesthetic, everything just gives me those vibes. Now, I definitely feel like the quality of Tammy is better than the quality of Shall We, but the Shall We is really gorgeous. And I'm having fun playing with this. Really pretty multi-chromes and some dual chromes here. The shadows are really jeweled and pigmented. Like, look at that emerald green. Like I say, you can get mini palettes, which I feel like is amazing because got a lot of eyeshadow here, okay? Got a lot to work through. So, you know, a mini version is fine, you know? Can you get your brush in it? Yes, I got some really beautiful looks. The mattes are really pigmented. This shade is a little bit lighter, but with a glitter glue, it does perform very well. It's just like the texture and the formulation of the shade. So, really, really stunning palette. So, coming in at number 8. Are we at 8? Yeah, I guess so. So we're halfway basically through, and coming in number 8 is a brand that I've kind of like been doing a double take with lately because I had a bunch of their stuff when they were when they were Alien Cosmetics. Now they're Unearthly Cosmetics. And this is the Sorcerer's Smoke, okay? So this palette is so stinking gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh man. This kind of changes things. Okay, so when I got ready to talk about this one, I was like, wait, I actually tried this one this year and I did not put it into my ranking because I know I purchased it last year. This is a Dreamer palette, and this is the palette that like set it back off for me with Unearthly Cosmetics. I was like, yes, I must try. But I didn't get it really until I think like January or end of December. I didn't try it until 2024 actually, but I didn't purchase it this year. So this kind of... Okay, we're going to talk about her in a bonus spot. We'll figure it out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. So what number we were at? Number 8. This is the Sorcerer's Smoke. And that palette, the Dreamer palette, made me go back and purchase this palette because this is an older palette that came out last fall. And I was like, you know what? It kept going in and out of stock. And finally, when it came back like the 3rd time, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting it. Look at this beautiful, grungy, earthy, cool/warm tone color story. So, so beautiful. Like, I just simply adore it. The mattes are really nice. The shimmers are really nice. And it's just a complete color story. And I feel like they have really just amped up their game. The packaging feels really nice and quality. And I just really love it. So that is the Sorcerer's Smoke. And like I said, the Dreamer palette is amazing too. And okay, so we'll just be like, this is a bonus, okay? Because I don't even know where to fit it into the ranking because I really do love it because you already know how I'm feeling about the cools and the warm tones. And this part of the palette on back just does it for me. This navy, you know how I feel about a navy matte. That's like my best friend. I don't see her very often, but when we link up, it's like we never skip the beat. That's how I feel about the gray mattes as well. And the purple, like, first of all, this shade Drift is gorgeous, honey. She didn't come to play. And then Dream State, which is right here. So first of all, that's Dream State. Do you see the little hollow action? Do you see the hollow action? And then we have this beautiful, just pewter. Like, honey, I've been in my cool tone bag, honey, living my best life. And if you guys don't know, I kind of talked about when I did some of my cool tone looks. Like, when I started off in makeup, it was cool tones. I love my warm tones. I love my regular, but I've been loving the cool tones lately, okay? So, she's like 8A, okay? This, I would say she's 8A and this is 8B, okay? Because, honey, gorgeous. Okay, so I definitely feel like you should get your hands on this. So coming in at number 7, this is by Dee Dee Signature. Thoroughly impressed by this palette. Like, I even put it on for my birthday shoot and mixed it up with a little Pat McGrath Mothership 1. So I would definitely, the shimmers, baby, the shimmers. I don't understand. Pumpkin spice. This is a spicy neutral palette. You know, if I'm going to do neutrals, it's got to be a spicy neutral, okay? It got to have something to offer. It got to have a little twinkle with the gold and the bronze. It got to have a little reflect. They got to dance, okay? Like, sorry, Natasha. It cannot be that gold palette. Girl, goodbye. That is like, But this right here is beautiful. Look, oh my gosh. And these particular shades, when you wear them, they don't need a glitter glue, honey. They don't. They just apply to the eye so nicely. I am just thoroughly impressed. Now, the mattes in here are really nice, but I definitely feel like the mattes just need a little bit of work. And that's why when I kind of wore it the last time, I mixed it with my Pat McGrath Mothership 1 palette. But I definitely feel like you can create some really nice, pretty looks. And the mattes that are, to me, are just okay, I guess would be the yellow. It's not too bad, and I don't really care for the pink. But the greens, this kind of burgundy shade's really pretty. The browns, I just wish they were just a little bit punchier. But very solid, very beautiful palette and affordable. Okay, so coming in at number 6, we have Krypton Kosmetics. I can't wait to see what else they're gonna do. Look at this packaging. Oh my gosh. I just used this palette the other day and it just made me so happy. This is the Burnt Forest palette. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shades. Like, just gorgeous, okay? The mattes are really nice and pigmented. This green is very pigmented. This is actually pretty pigmented. It gives like more of a flush, but this really, really nice shades, okay? First of all, let's look at Wildfire. Really gorgeous. Really love me some Moss. This is Moss. Really, really pretty. Okay, moss definitely has a little bit more texture to it. That's what I'm saying, girl. This eyeshadow game, baby. I got shadows. Okay, moss definitely flips off more pink for the most part. Even when you put it with the greens, it's definitely coming off more pink versus green with a little flip of pink. It's definitely coming out more pink. Really solid shades. You can do so many different color stories because you have this brown, you got the black, you got blues, you got the greens, you got like this little starry sky situation. The starry sky shade is kind of like a marbleized shade. This reminds me of my Glam Shop Poland shades where they had those marble singles. Look at that. You can't tell me that's not stunning. So pretty. Now, number 5. Ooh, Groovy Garden. This was the third palette I tried by Inslee Rain. I was like, they are just getting it, okay? Like, this color story is giving grunge, it's giving garden, it's giving colorful, it's giving neutral. And like, it's the matte situation in here is so good, the setup, because I feel like there's something for everybody. Because first of all, you can go deep and dark and grungy, right? And then you can kind of go neutral. And then you got like, you can go mossy with the greens. And then you can go mauvey. And then you can go a little bit more muted. So if you're a little bit more fair complected, like there's something in here for everybody. Like, so the skin progressions, like if you're deeper than me, you have mattes that are going to work. If you're fairer than me, you have lights that can work. If you're in the middle, we kind of got like all the worlds for the most part. And then you have some gorgeous, gorgeous shades in the middle. I do like that this one has more mattes also. I also like that the shimmers, they're not too bad as far as being closely arranged. You know, we do have another fiery shade right here. Let's go in for this shade. It's so silky smooth. That is trippy. So, boo, baby. Just delicious. A beautiful, beautiful shade right here. And then if you wanted to see Lava Lamp against that other shade from the Burnt Forest. So very similar, but Lava Lamp has a little bit more red, I would say, in it. And a little bit deeper, darker base. Just a stunning palette. I was like, oh, when this came out, I was like, yes, I need my hands on this. This is so pretty. So pretty. All right. Fresh hand, last stack, the last 4 palettes. And man, I am so hype about these palettes. Like all of these palettes. Girl, just, you did your thing. Number 4. This one I got in PR, but from Adept Cosmetics. This is the Amy Loves palette. This is Amy Loves Makeup collaboration with a... My camera cut off of me. We're back. She did her thing on this, okay? This is a cool tone dream. The shades are so good, so pretty. Like, look at aesthetically across the board, the palette is just pleasing. Between the background, the shade choices, how she laid out the shades. It's a little colorful, it's a little muted. It has a bit of warmth to it. And you can just get so many combinations. I really love that she put this little blue in there, which is Mi Amor. Like that just really kind of shifted and changed the game of the palette. My shade in the middle, lavender. Oh my gosh, indie. So lavender is that jam. And if you are, I did a mashup with this palette and Flying Fiddles. Check that video out. It's a mashup with this palette, Flying Fiddle, Sumerian Sunset, and Element 115 from Adept. This is the shade Lavender. Gorgeous. Then we have the shade Indie, like a finer, more milled hollow chrome. Honey. Just simply, simply gorgeous. So, so pretty. She did her thing. And then I love, like I said, I love the matte choices because the mattes are deep, okay? So she went with all deep mattes so people, women of color, could be able to participate. And I appreciate that because you can sheer them out as you need to. So if they're running a little bit too deep, but you have some beautiful, beautiful choices. And I think like the only shades that kind of, it's like the pink shade is kind of for me. And I don't think I've ever like really played with floral. One day I'll get there, but I haven't. But just a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Coming in at number 3, which is kind of wild because this palette, I was like, I am not buying this. I said, no ma'am, I'm not getting this. I said, I have my Blowing Smoke palette because I had the original, no, I had the Smoke Show, which was the original ColourPop palette of, I want to say the Blowing Smoke. Maybe, child, whatever it's called. It was the black monochromatic 9-pan palette by ColourPop. And I was like, I'm not buying this. And then it just, all of a sudden, it just started calling my name. So I was like, I'm just going to buy it for myself as a Valentine's Day gift. And honey, I bought this palette and I have been hooked. This is the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. Look. It is so freaking gorgeous. It is really versatile. I have had so much fun also pairing it with other palettes. Like, it just doesn't make any type of sense. You have the gray, and that's the thing. Like, you know, I love grays. I love navy blues. So I was like, I don't understand. But I think I was just like, well, I have this one palette, so I'm not going to go and spend the money on this. But you know, ColourPop, we love ColourPop, no shade. But after a while, that palette was kind of old. It was like, we just gonna go over here to Natasha. We just gonna come over here to Natasha. So, what shade does it for me? Night Sky. Love some Night Sky. It's like that. What is it? Is this the cream to powder formulation? Look how just opulent and nice that looks. Ooh, I wonder how. Ooh. Okay. Hold, please. Okay, we got Night Sky. Take a cleaner finger. We're going to go in with a little bit of lavender from Amy's palette, which is the shade right next to it. I just want to see how that would look. Oh, that would be a look. That would be a look. That would be a look. Okay. So, like I said, it's just a really pretty palette. And although it does look very like one complexion, it's not. Even the little white tones in the pop of the corner on the lid are really pretty as well. So she's good, y'all. She's good. That's all I can say. She's pretty. Like, I was surprised. I was shocked. Coming in at number 2. I got this in PR also, but I think nobody would debate me down that this palette isn't good, okay? This is a spicy neutral palette, okay? She is gorgeous, okay? She is giving all the feels. This is Adept Kosmetics Flying Fiddles. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but when I saw this palette, I said, oh damn. Oh, this is pretty. This is gorgeous. I am fooling with this, honey. This is up my alley in terms of a neutral palette. We got the grunge because we got the teal. We got some chartreuses. We got some blues. We got the bronzes. We got the multichromes. We got the berries. We got the burgundy. We got the brown. Like, what is hitting on all angles? And even though it looks so neutral, it can still be colorful at the same time. Like, honey, this shade, let's see, so we have Dahlia, which is more of a traditional like pink flip multichrome, but I really like Arsemia. Really pretty. And then you have Yellow Browning. Yellow Browning kind of reminds me. Okay, yeah, let's do this, okay? Because the original Natasha Denona Gold palette is not available, right? So you got the shade Yellow Browning right here. And then you got the shade Green Kelly, okay? Stick with me. So if you missed out on the original gold palette by Natasha and you want those kind of vibes that they had on the little turquoise scale, okay, so you could take the shade Yellow Browning. Boom. And then you got the shade Green Kelly. Give some of the vibes. Horrible swatch because I'm on my wrist. Okay, and then here's the other shade Arsemia. I'm going to put it over here. really interesting taupe shade, okay? You can get some of the same vibes, okay? Like, you can get a couple of the same vibes, and then you have more, because I have the original gold. Hold on. All right, so this is the original. So you see how I'm saying? We got this shade right here at the top, which was called Lime Chrome. Because it was really, if you think about it, you kind of grouped this shade in there. But it was only really these 3 shades. And then of course we got the mustard shade. But that actually gave that little twist. So here's Lime Chrome. You definitely, if you wanted to use this, glitter glow. But see, it gives somewhat of the same. You can get the same vibe with these 2 shades. And then you have a variation different of bronzes and other colors you can get. So if you kind of wanted that old thing vibe back, but you missed the original gold palette, I think that would be like a good little thing. Because let's see, the bottom shade was Brass. This one. And these are still creamy after all that time. So it's a good testament. That's Brass. But I definitely feel, okay. We don't have Brass, but we do have Daffodil. And it definitely gives like that green vibe. So we're going to put it down there. So it's not too far off from Brass. Boom, boom. Like I said, if you wanted that thing back, hit up the Adept one, okay? Hit it up. Yep. Dang, just realized that. Yep. Okay, so that was number 2. So that means number 1 has to be my love. Oh my gosh, you know I love this palette so much. Came in, stole my heart. I was like, you know what? This is the palette that really just kind of like hit it off for real. Like, I love the first palette I tried by this brand. Loved it to death. But when this one came along, I was like, oh, yep. Stole my heart for real. Okay. Inslee Rain, Cold Moon. Okay. It's so pretty. It's so good. It's so pretty. It's cool tone. It has some fieriness to it. The mattes are perfect. You got deep shades. You got in between shades. You got some like a little couple warmer shades. You got some mauves. You got like some mints, I guess you would say, a little teal action. And the possibilities are just endless with this palette. Like, your eyes are going to be dancing. The multi-chromes, the holochromes, the dual chromes, just the regular straight up shimmers. And this works on dark skin complexion. So my friend Jamila, she was like, okay. I said, I told you it was good. I told you. Told you. Okay. Oh, what is one of my favorite shades? Okay. This one in the middle, Coin. One of my favorites. I have quite a few in this shade. Oh, my hand. Okay. Interesting. We're going to put her here. Look how fiery that is. So against like the cooler tone mattes, my gosh. Then we have Snowdrop. Snowdrop is gorgeous too. I mean, this palette, it be having me feeling myself. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Like, I am here for you. This is Snowdrop. Do you see the magic-y goodness? It's really pretty. It is just a fabulous palette. I feel like it's just so different and unique to everything that I have in my collection. And I just feel like it just really stands out. So I just really love and adore it. So that is my ranking of everything I have tried this year, plus my little bonus of the Dreamer palette, because I was like, I really just kind of counted this. All right, I hope you guys really enjoy this ranking. My memory card died. I was like, okay, all of my memory cards are full. This is crazy. So I really hope you enjoy the ranking, because I really don't do a ranking at the end of the year. I usually do like how many in whatever year that it is, the calendar year, and then I basically kind of go through all of the palettes to say would I purchase it again or would would I not purchase again, and it's not any type of ranking fashion. But I might just tell you like my absolute favorite. So this was fun to do like this little mid-year check-in. I do have some fun things coming up that I have not tried. Oh, let's do a little sneak peek. I don't even really know what this brand is called, but it came broken, unfortunately. Okay, so I told my work daughter, because you know I don't have, but I have children I have not given birth to. So my work daughter was like, what do you want for your birthday? So I said I wanted this palette, and it was from the Look Healthy store. So it just came in. It was wrapped really well. So I'm surprised that the shimmers did not make it. And I just ordered a couple other palettes from them. So I'm waiting for them to come in. But look at this, okay? And I'm not entirely sure of the brand, but I gotta press these, okay? Look at this color story. You already know. You already know. I'm keeping the little plastic on because clearly those need some help. But, oh my gosh. I can't believe those two shadows came broken. I can't wait to try this. I'm gonna get this pressed. And then I bought a couple other palettes from the Look Healthy store. I know Klarity is about to come back out with their Mermaid Revamp collection. I want one of those palettes. Oh, Glaminatrix got some on the way. Blend Bunny, they got a new logo. Some on the way. And, ooh, what else? I'd say Glaminatrix, right? So yeah, it's gonna be some stuff coming, you know? So it's always exciting to play, but like I said, I do really love my eyeshadow collection. I think it is like bomb.com, and sometimes when I just go back in and play. And I got singles over there too from the Glam Shop and Terra Moons that I love just as much too. So yeah. You know, I'll be trying to use my stuff. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed the ranking. Once again, leave me a comment down below. Have you tried any of these palettes this year? Do you have your eyes on any of these palettes or any on the wish list? Give this video a big up thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come back with another video, which will be soon. And subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. With that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance. Chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Cherries. Hey. All right, y'all. Bye.